Galatians, or Galatians, as they say, chapter 2. Then after the space of 14 years, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas, taking Titus also with me. And I went up by revelation, and I laid before them the announcement which I preach among the nations, but privately to the ones seeming to be something, lest by any means I should be running, or had run, in vain. But not even Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised, and that because of the false brothers secretly brought in, who came in secretly to spy out our freedom, which we have in anointed Yeshua, so that they shall enslave us under them, to whom we gave place in the way of subjection, no, not for an hour, that the truth of the announcement might continue with you. But from the ones seeming to be something, what sort once they were mattereth nothing to me. The God accepteth not by a man's appearance. For to me, the one seeming to be something imparted nothing. But contrariwise, when they saw that I had been entrusted with the announcement of the uncircumcision, even as Petro with the announcement of the circumcision, for he that wrought for Petro to the sainthood of the circumcision wrought for me also to the nations. And when they perceived the grace that was given to me, Jacobo and Kepha and Johanan, the ones seeming to be pillars, gave to me and Barnabas the right hands of an agreed partnership, that we be to the nations, and they to the circumcision, only saying that we should be remembering the poor, which thing also, this same thing, I speedily endeavored to effectuate. But when Kepha came to Antioch, I resisted him to the face, because he stood condemned. For before that certain came from Jacobo, he was eating with those of the nations. But when they came, he was withdrawing, and was separating himself, fearing the ones from circumcision. And the rest of the Yehudim dissembled likewise with him, insomuch that even Barnabas was carried away with their dissimulation. But when I saw that they were not walking uprightly according to the truth of the announcement, I said to Kepha before them all, If thou, being a Yehudi, art living as the nations, and not as the Yehudim, how art thou compelling the nations to be living as Yehudim? We being Yehudim by nature, and not sinners of the nations, yet knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but through faith in Yeshua anointed, even we believed on anointed Yeshua, that we might be justified by faith in anointed, and not by the works of the law, because by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. But if, while we sought to be justified in anointed, we ourselves also were found sinners, is anointed a server of sin? Chalila, not so. For if I build up again those things which I destroyed, I prove myself a transgressor. For I, through the law, died to the law, that I might live to God. I have been crucified with anointed, and it is no longer I that live, but anointed liveth in me, and that life which I now live in the flesh, I live in faith. The faith which is in the Son of the God, who loved me, and gave himself up for me. I do not make void the grace of the God. For if righteousness is through the law, then anointed died for naught.